on Thanksgiving. This could catch on.
When we were 10.
Yeah.
You know, playing baseball in the field and singing like Stranded in the Jungle by the Cadets.
Yeah.
You all know that tune, don't you?
Totally.
Stranded
It's
in
on
the
my
Jungle.
playlist, yes.
I had an orgasm in, I don't know, 6 months or 5 months. Haven't had one, Al. Haven't had one. You believe that?
Forbidden. Revelations. Ed O'Neill exposes the dark secrets of Married with Children that shocked Hollywood. Ed O'Neill has finally broken his silence after decades. In a shocking revelation, the star of Married with Children exposed secrets that Fox tried to hide for 30 years. What he confessed about the cast, the secret firings, and the truth behind the character Al Bundy will change everything you thought you knew about the show. For 11 seasons, Al Bundy was one of the most iconic characters on television. But behind the scenes, brutal dismissals, bitter feuds, and secrets that never made it to the tabloids. What you're about to discover isn't just another superficial behind-the-scenes piece. These are direct confessions from Ed himself, admitting mistakes, exposing tensions, and revealing why a show like Married with Children would never survive in today's television landscape. Are you enjoying this story? Married with Children. Then help the channel with your subscription. Look, 94.8% of the people who watch these videos are still not subscribed to the channel. If you are part of that group, take the chance and subscribe now. It's free, and that way you'll keep receiving amazing stories from TV shows we still miss, yo. And don't forget, at the end of the video, you'll find more stories like this one. Most fans have no idea that the original cast of Married with Children was completely different from what we know. Kelly and Bud Bundy were initially played by Tina Casper and Hunter Carson, and after the pilot was filmed, Fox made a brutal decision. Fired them both. Ed revealed the painful truth. The decision to replace both kids wasn't just about talent. It was specifically about chemistry with M.E. Fox executives told the creators that if Ed was going to carry the show as Al Bundy, the family needed to seem authentic around him. Tina and Hunter simply didn't fit that dynamic, and the network was not willing to make concessions. Ed confessed that he felt guilty about both actors losing their jobs, especially since they had already filmed the pilot and thought they were part of something permanent. But what Ed didn't expect was how this behind-the-scenes tension would affect relationships on set for the next 11 years. But what happened after that is even more shocking. The most famous backstage feud was between Ed O'Neill and Amanda Beers, but we never knew the real reason, until now. Ed admitted that his relationship with Amanda began to deteriorate during the second season. The problem? Completely opposite views on how to interpret their scenes together. I wanted Al and Marcy to have a more subtle rivalry, something with layers, revealed Ed. But Amanda saw Marcy as Al's total antagonist, and that created real tensions backstage. The situation got so bad that they barely spoke to each other off camera for years. The writers had to rewrite scenes to minimize the time they spent together on set. The truth is that this real tension between the actors ended up fueling the acidic chemistry between the characters. Ed confesses that he regrets how he handled the situation. But fans never realized that the contempt they saw on screen was real. And if you think that was stressful, wait until you discover the physical torture Ed endured for 11 seasons. The falls, the blows, and the physical gags that seemed so effortless on screen, they left Ed with real pain and injuries that he still feels today. Around season 5, my back was literally destroyed, confessed Ed. Those scenes in the shoe store, where Al had to wrestle with giant feet or collapse in exhaustion, that wasn't just acting. Ed revealed that he would do up to 5 takes of physically exhausting scenes to get the perfect reaction from the live audience. He often ended the day with real bruises and pains that stayed with him for weeks. People laughed, but they had no idea how much it really hurt. If I had to do it all over again today, my body simply couldn't handle it. Every laugh from the audience had a physical price that Ed paid behind the scenes, something fans never imagined while they were enjoying Al Bundy's misadventures. The most surprising thing? There's a specific scene that Ed refused to film, even under threat of lawsuit. In the 7th season, the writers created a scene where Al Bundy was supposed to make jokes about a recent tragedy that had occurred in real life. Ed put his foot down and refused to film it. There were limits I wasn't willing to cross. Even playing someone like Al Bundy, revealed Ed. That specific scene crossed all ethical lines for me. The producers threatened to sue him for breach of contract. The backstage atmosphere got so tense that filming was suspended for 2 entire days. Finally, the scene was rewritten, but Ed paid a high price. His salary was temporarily reduced as punishment for defying the producers. It was one of the few moments when I really considered abandoning the series completely, confessed Ed. But I knew that Al Bundy was bigger than me at that point. I was trapped in the character for better or worse, and this brings us to the regret that still haunts Ed O'Neill to this day. After decades of playing Al Bundy and later Jay Pritchett in Modern Family, Ed finally confessed what bothers him most about his iconic role. For years after Married with Children ended, I struggled with how people saw me, admitted Ed. Everywhere I went, fans called me Al, quoted my lines, and treated me as if I was the character. What really bothered Ed? Al Bundy was a one-dimensional character created to make people laugh. But Ed wanted to be recognized as an actor capable of much more. My biggest regret is not fighting for more nuance for Al. The character could have had genuine moments of growth without losing the humor. This frustration haunted Ed for years, until Modern Family finally gave him the chance to show his versatility as an actor. What surprised Ed was how much he enjoyed playing a father figure who actually cared about his family. Jay Pritchett wasn't perfect. He was gruff, old-fashioned, and sometimes clueless. But he genuinely loved his wife and children. Ed said that filming scenes where Jay expressed emotion or showed vulnerability felt liberating after spending 11 years playing a man who only showed affection through sarcasm or contempt. He realized how dark and cynical Al Bundy really was, and it made him appreciate the nuances that Modern Family allowed him to explore. The contrast couldn't have been more extreme, and Ed said it gave him a perspective on Al Bundy that he never had while filming Married with Children. Ed was brutally honest about how Married with Children would be received today. The show was a product of its time, he explained. The insensitive humor, the stereotypes, the sexist jokes, all of that reflected a different era of television. Ed believes the biggest irony is how many fans misinterpreted the series. If you watched the show and came away thinking Al Bundy was someone to admire, you completely missed the point. He was a caricature, a comic exaggeration. What really surprises Ed is how the show continues to find new audiences through streaming. It's amazing that teenagers in 2025 are watching a sitcom from the 80s and still finding it funny, even without fully understanding the cultural context. Ed acknowledges the show's lasting influence on modern comedies like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Family Guy, and South Park, all following the path that the Bundys paved for darker, more cynical humor. But Ed also revealed how Modern Family changed his view of his legacy. While filming the new series, younger cast members and crew would ask him about Al Bundy, and Ed noticed how differently they interpreted the character. Some saw Al as a tragic figure, a man beaten down by life who coped through humor. Others saw him as a product of his time, a relic of an era when that kind of humor was acceptable. Ed said hearing these perspectives made him realize Al Bundy meant different things to different generations, and that complexity was something he hadn't fully appreciated while making the show. Playing Jay also made Ed realize how much Al Bundy had limited his career. For over a decade after Married with Children ended, he was typecast. Directors saw him as the guy who played the crude shoe salesman and couldn't imagine him in dramatic or nuanced roles. Modern Family broke that perception, earning Ed multiple Emmy nominations and proving he had range. But Ed admitted there's a bittersweet irony. The role that made him famous also trapped him, and it took another sitcom to set him free. Ed's reflections on both characters show he's made peace with his legacy, but he's also honest about the challenges that came with it. Are you enjoying this story? Married with Children? Then help the channel with your subscription. Look, 94.8% of the people who watch these videos are still not subscribed to the channel. If you are part of that group, take the chance and subscribe now. It's free, and that way you'll keep receiving amazing stories from TV shows we still miss. Oh, and don't forget, at the end of the video, you'll find more stories like this one. Ed O'Neill's revelations about Married with Children pull back the curtain on one of television's most controversial sitcoms. From the casting disasters that almost destroyed the show to the bitter feuds behind the scenes, Ed has finally shared the full story. What makes Ed's honesty so powerful is that he's not trying to rewrite history or protect his image. He admits his mistakes, acknowledges the show's limitations, and refuses to pretend Al Bundy was anything more than what it was, a crude, satirical character designed to make people laugh at the absurdity of his worldview. At the same time, Ed recognizes the show's impact, how it influenced modern comedy, broke sitcom conventions, and gave dignity to working-class frustration in a way few shows dared to attempt. The Bundy legacy is complicated, just like the man who played Al for 11 years. But Ed O'Neill's willingness to talk openly about what really happened behind the scenes proves one thing. Even decades later, Married with Children still matters, still sparks conversation, and still reveals new layers the more you look beneath the surface. What about you? What's your favorite memory of the Bundy family? Comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more exclusive revelations about the most iconic shows of all time.